So the reason that I'm here is I had this idea a little bit ago, and I've been basically waiting for an opportunity to have someone like listen while I talk this through. So there's a theory or a concept in behavioral psychology that has made its way to behavioral marketing. There's a couple different names for it, but at the end of the day, what it says is that the act of observing behavior changes it. It's a subtle thing to toss aside when you're thinking about marketing until you stop to look at the sheer volume of what it is that we have to now observe. It used to be we would observe the TV, we would listen to the radio. Now, of course, we're engaging, we're interacting. And what I have come to realize with working with clients, my own businesses, is that how we use social media is important. It's all about engagement, and I get all of that, but it's also about the data. And why is data important? Because it gives us what we need to be interesting. At the end of the day, when we do these networking events, when we meet people, we don't remember the ones, hey, they were interesting. We remember the ones that were interested. So we need to be the brands, the companies that show the interest and target our market appropriately. That's who gets remembered. So as an example, looking at Twitter. Twitter has been around for a few years now. We missed the slide as far as the growth. 465 million accounts on Twitter, I think 11 accounts per day being added. Use it as a research tool. That's an important thing to remember. You can actually do searches for someone that has talked about a term like real estate within a 15-mile radius of any given zip code and for the past week. That's a lot of data that we can, for free, access. The last few slides talking about the anatomy of a Twitter. If you look at, of a tweet, if you look at 140 characters, there's actually a lot going on behind that. We can get the author's name, their biographical information that they're providing, their company URL, their location, who they're talking to, the operating system, the browser, a lot of different information. Same with Facebook. Facebook has a lot of different types of content, from your basic status updates, posts, to contests, QR codes that they have there now. This is all, again, data. And the tools now enable us to actually harness that data and mine that in ways that we weren't able to before without literally being rocket scientists. And the step you have to take first, though, once you decide you want to do social media, you're tying it to your key performance objectives and you know what you're trying to accomplish, is have that strategy in place. It's important to consider what is the content that I have to share. Is it of interest to anybody? Where is this content going? What is the action I expect people to take as a result of being exposed to my content? And what am I going to do with that data? That's the extra step. What am I going to do with that data? What business intelligence am I going to glean from it? It can be upside down. I don't know how that happened. It can be as simple as mining your database for email addresses and finding them on the social networks, stalking them on the social networks, if you will, and getting back that information. You can now look at consumers or prospects in terms of where they're physically located, what some of their purchasing habits are, time of day, location. Did they purchase as a result of coming through my website, interacting with me on Facebook, all of that. You can evaluate your marketing efforts and how you're targeting that based on some of that data that you're getting back. In some real-time or real-life examples, I have used it for public relations. I have connected with reporters. A New York Times reporter saw one of my Facebook updates and contacted me for an interview because I have my Facebook updates open and they're crawlable by search engines and things like that. This is an example of a free tool, Web Info Extractor. It's one of many. You type in a URL of a Facebook fan page, a YouTube video page or channel, and it'll deliver back some of the metrics on that. So the titles, the tags, the number of shares, the number of likes, whatever that social network or that social page will deliver. You can also load in individual pages, and the takeaway with that, though, is when you're evaluating these tools to harness or mine data, you want to look at something that's going to give you the data in a way that you can work with, whether that's text, CSV, ask your web guy, but make sure that it's data you can work with what you have. And again, the whole point of that, of engaging in social media, putting content out there, bringing it back in and looking at it, is so that you know more about your prospects, about their behavior. When you know what they're doing, you can start to look at the bigger picture, why they're doing it. And as some of these other companies have done, Microsoft did this, they experimented with some email marketing when they launched Bing, and the emails that were customized had a 70% higher conversion rate than the uncustomized emails that went out to promote Bing. There's another telco that was using the process to ask two really important questions. Why are people buying from us? How do we compare to our competitors? And they went into mining and harnessing that data, wanting to answer two specific questions. So it's really important. You'll end up with a fire hose of data if you don't boil it down to what essentially is important to you. What is the data that you need to make better and more targeted marketing decisions? It can be, again, as simple as an email. You can follow that trail through to LinkedIn and make that connection. You can find them on Twitter. You can see who they're talking to across all of these networks. And this works on a business-to-business, business-consumer basis pretty equally. I've had good success also finding prospects for my clients using this process of harnessing the data, finding out what I can, and then being interested. So a prospect email that I send out now isn't about, hey, you should look at my client's company because they do a really good job with SEO. It's, we use these tools and we're giving you your content popularity index, and it tells you how well you're doing across 3 different areas, and if you want to know more, talk to my client. Those are the types of cold or blind emails that get responses because we've been harnessing this data. That is Twitter and 140 characters of big data.